Hi everyone, welcome back. I thought I would just give you a quick brief on how I go about my ideas for my knives and the designs that I come up with. I'm out constantly over the week, and it's through trial and error that I put certain ideas into my knives. For talking's sake, this large belly here, the idea came from the SP53, the Ontario knife. I really like it, and it was really heavy and it really could smash through the wood no problem. So this belly here for kind of almost like a bolo type design works really good, and that's why I put this into the design. Also the guard here at the front, I needed something if I had to ram it through whatever material, an animal. It gave a good positive stop here, and that's what I wanted that for. And also a good positive stop when you're in a stabbing motion when splitting wood, like so. I wanted it for that as well. The hollow tubes that are in the handles, if you look back on my YouTube channel, you'll actually see one of my neck knives getting thrown as a spear, and that's where these hollow tubes come in. That's always stuck in my head as in how useful that was, and it's not something you would do every day, but it's a one tool option, and hopefully we never need to use it. But it worked out really good, and that was simply because I had the hollow tubes in the neck knife, or the hollow handle, and it was easy to strap some paracord around it to a stick and make it really functional, whether it was for hunting or just cutting down, say, fruit above your head from fruit trees like coconuts, stuff like that. And so that's why I wanted these into it. And my first video I done on this knife, you'll see me batting through probably a 3.5 foot pine log with loads of knots in it, and it was getting bound up, and the wood had a fair amount of twists in it by the time I'd finished. And what it required me to do is be able to hit the end of the knife to get the blade right through, so I could still hit the front with my batten. Granted, the batten in that video was too short, but this was a great assistance having the butt or exposed butt or tang. So this works really good, and I've had that on several of my knives now, and I think, yeah, definitely all my knives will have this. I need this capability, because the thing it does, it stops it throwing off the scales when hitting with your batten. The thickness of the spine, I do think it is too thick, but for a one tool option, when you make a knife, it's designed in a way it fits within a certain envelope, and I think with a one tool option you've got a tendency to push the knife outside the envelope, and that's where the stressors break your knife or ruin it. And the thickness of the blade gives you that extra bit of confidence that the knife can take a bit more punishment. But I do not think it is that necessary. I think once your skill level's up, you could drop down, say, to 4mm and 3mm or 3.2, something like that, and you'll still do really well with your survival knives if your skill level's there and appropriate and you're not misusing your survival tool. I just experimented with the 6mm, and it's working great, and it can really take a fair bit of abuse. The O1 tool steel that we've used for making the knife is relatively cheap here in the UK, and that's the reason we used that. And Jason, who makes my knives, is really good at heat treating them, so that's his favoured steel, and I get on really good with it. It takes a really keen edge, as you've seen from some of my videos that I've done. And this front point here, as I says in the last video, I took that idea from the Fallniven A1 clone knife that I had. Really done the splitting brilliant, and I was really surprised. With the extra weight of this knife, it is fantastic at splitting, and so that's why I have that on this knife. The slabs, the wooden slabs, they're relatively cheap. We break them, we can replace them no problem. In the ideal world I'd like probably orange G10 handles, but I'm quite happy with this walnut. It seems to be doing really good. The other thing we can do with the walnut handles is actually sand it so it actually fits your hand perfect. And I find that the broomstick style lets you hold a knife in all different grips with relative ease and comfort, and using your knife over a prolonged period of time, that's what we're looking for. And this thinning down of the scales here at the thumb scallops, rather than making scallops, we just thinned it down so we can use a pinch grip for like your draw or lever grips. So that's the reason we have that there, and this seems to work for me. It's not everybody's favourite choice, but I really like it, especially when you're doing a lot of carving and chopping. It works for me, and that was the reason I put it in. Now the thing with one tool options, there's always a compromise. The knife's never brilliant in everything, but it does a decent job at anything that you ask it. And so that's where some knives that you'll see are out in the market are better than this knife at certain jobs, but this can do multiple tasks when out in the woods, and it does it really, really good. So this is the compromise you need to make when considering buying a one tool option. And this is the kind of stage I'm at the moment. So once I get these ideas out my head, I'll move down to the next stage, and I think what I'll do from there is drop down into thinner steels and start using more skills, which hopefully my knives will be able to survive the cut even though they're a bit thinner. And my knives will probably get smaller also. I like my Tramontina machete for chopping and large shelter prep and stuff like that, but I feel now I need a smaller kind of bushcraft style knife as my skill level's starting to pick up, and that's what I'm going to maybe invest in next. So this is just some of the ideas I've had on my one tool option here, Nessy, and it's working really good so far. It's not perfect, but we're getting there. Okay then, catch you all soon.